Before we get to the SPAC and we get to Rumble, let's talk about the most important thing, which is your health. How are you?
Well, about 8 weeks ago, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And, you can go take a look on Rumble. I put out a video to my 12,000 employees just explaining how it's going. I feel good. My doctor said I'm not dying from this. So it's curable, it's treatable, and I'm halfway through. So I'm sort of 9 holes into an 18-hole event, but you can tell I feel good. This is just not a fashion choice. That's all.
It's not a bad choice. It doesn't look bad for fashion, but it's good to hear that. And we wish you all the best.
I could be in a Bruce Willis movie now. I could be in a Bruce Willis movie, don't you know?
I sort of confused you with Bruce Willis there for a second, Howard. So let's turn to Rumble. You've been very active in SPACs, to put it that way, at Cantor Fitzgerald. But Rumble is a bit of a different creature here. It's got a pretty high profile in a lot of the United States. Tell us why you did this.
It's really, a neutral network. Imagine a neutral network in America. Everybody's picking sides. These guys have just decided they're going to be neutral, down the middle, listen to voices and let it be out there. So in the last year, they went from 1.6 million users to 36 million users in 1 year, third quarter 2020 to third quarter 2021. These are monthly active users. Can you imagine that? 15% of U.S. YouTube's got about 200 million U.S. users, and that's where all the money is. These guys have 15% market share, 30 million U.S. users in 1 year. This company is rocking.
So let's talk about that 1.6 to 30 million. How many of those were people who don't believe that President Trump actually lost the last election? Because they got a lot of attention over that dispute, and a lot of that traffic came from that part of the populace, did it not?
It started with YouTube, obviously, deplatforming and deprioritizing conservative views. But after that, it's gone so much more. Last night I listened to Russell Brand talking. It was amazing. He was talking about Twitter. He was talking about the way it used to be and now the way it's changed. And, everybody's got a different opinion. But you've got comedians coming on. You've got all sorts of people, UFC fighters, everybody, gamers, tons of gamers coming on. It's because they just want to not be censored. And I think that's a huge, huge thing, to be a neutral network. Imagine a neutral network. Of course, they'd like the 45th president's social media company. But of course, they'd like the 44th and 46th too. Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Fair enough. The 45th president of the United States, Mr. Donald J. Trump, is starting his own media enterprise. Is this a competitor with that? What's the relationship between what President Trump is trying to start up and what Rumble's doing?
Well, if you think about it, Rumble is a video distribution company, right? So they did 8 billion minutes viewing last quarter per month. So they can distribute anything. So the Trump Media Group and the DWAC SPAC is using Rumble for distribution, for cloud service distribution. And I can confirm that they have an arrangement together where the Truth Social is going to be paying Rumble to do distribution. It won't be their exclusive one, but they're going to be using Rumble. And Rumble is an extraordinary service provider, because if you can put out video, you can certainly put out, tweets and what Donald, the president, calls a truth. You can put those out, kind of easy stuff.
So, Howard, let's talk about your company. You have your finger on an important part of the pulse of Wall Street. Give us your take right now on a couple of things. Number one, the jobs numbers that came out today, what it tells us about the economy. And also, you have to put it together, don't you, with Omicron? Is it really going to affect the economy?
So, Omicron is just, who's having a holiday party this year, right? That's like sort of like the idea of coming back. It's just slowed everything down. Okay, we all know it's slowed everything down. But I think once the news, like you guys were just putting out just before, once the doctors get out and they say, look, if you're double vaxxed and you're protected and you get boosted, then you won't go to the hospital, I think the world will come back pretty quickly. I think you're going to have a 6-week pause, though, as people worry about it and are scared. But when that's over, I think we'll come back pretty solid and pretty strong. So I'm pretty confident, obviously a little worried, like everybody else is. But ultimately, I think got to be pretty confident.
Is it affecting some of your employees being willing to come back to work?
No, I think my employees, they're all vaxxed. Those who are vaccinated, who are comfortable being vaccinated, they're back at the office when they, and so it's okay. I think it's made everybody more worried, for sure. But I don't think it's changed the way people are acting yet. If they learn that it gets around the vaccine, or you end up in the hospital or something horrible, then I think that'll change. But the way it is right now, I think people are a little worried. but they're still going back their lives.
You've got your feet firmly planted in New York City and Manhattan. Do you think this could set us back? There are people expressing concerns, including Mr. Solomon, CEO of Goldman Sachs, about New York's return.
Oh, it sets it back. Darn right. It's pretty simple. You know, if there's an 8-week pause, it's an 8-week pause. If it's a 6-week pause, it's a 6-week pause. But you push it all back a couple of months, you know, it just slowed it all down. It just slowed it all down. But I think this is going to be with us for a while. And thank God for the vaccines. Thank God for the new pills coming. Thank God that people understand how to live their lives now. And then look, the Northeast is going into flu season. It's going to be tougher. It's going to be tougher. But I think we all know it's coming. We're all steeled for it. And I think the economy will do better than people think, but it'll be more tricky.